Hi, welcome back to the in-between, that messy, magical, sacred place between what's ended and what has not yet begun. My name is Camille. Today I want to talk about one of my most favorite topics, uncertainty. Now, that wasn't always the case, but back in 2018, I was challenged by author Kyle Cease to meditate for 1 hour every day for 100 days to see at the time if it could heal my confusion. Yes, as painful as it sounds, but I gave him my word, and I'm not someone to go back on my word. And so for 100 days, I sat in extreme discomfort for 60 minutes. And I recorded a video after each hour. You can actually find that on YouTube as well. But something happened. I went through a powerful, life-changing, and permanent transformation. I learned so much about chaos, confusion, uncertainty, change, our thoughts, the mind's role in our lives. It has been an extraordinary wellspring of wisdom and information that I've been sharing with you ever since. So when we talk about uncertainty within change, it's time to really revisit what uncertainty is and the gifts that it has for us. So first, in the old design model, uncertainty is not anything that's valued. In fact, when you don't know, when you're uncertain, you can feel a lot of pressure to know, to have answers, because in the old design model, knowing has a tremendous amount of value. And so as a result, a lot of times we will rush right through the space between something that ended and something that has not yet begun, simply to avoid not just the pressure of not knowing and having people ask us when we don't know, but also to bypass the discomfort that we feel when we're sitting in uncertainty. And so in the new design model, we have done the deep dive yet again so that we can rise with new definitions, new insight, and a new appreciation for what uncertainty really is and why it's so important to pause and be still and to learn how to sit in the discomfort of not knowing when you're in uncertainty. In the new design model, uncertainty is a field of infinite possibilities and potential. In the old design model, oftentimes it's one potential, one possibility, one right answer, one right way. But in the new design model, we love the idea that there's more than one way, that there's more than one decision that could yield our greatest good. We see that as a form of abundance. And so when you're going through any sort of change, whether you've initiated it or it's been imposed upon you, you cannot escape the phase of uncertainty. In the old design model, you want to. In the new design model, we don't. In the new design model, we look at uncertainty with a very fresh perspective. We understand that sometimes life needs time to move things around behind the curtain. We understand that delay is not denial, and that sometimes when you're uncertain, it's because you don't have all the information that you need to make that choice that aligns you with how you want to feel and what is yours to do. And so if you are in a time of uncertainty, I want to encourage you to really begin to see it from a fresh perspective and to try to bring a renewed respect to this space and to this place that, of course, the mind does not like at all. Uncertainty is the worst for the mind because the mind needs to know. And there's nothing worse than not knowing. And so the mind will, even unknowingly, it can be an unconscious thing, The mind will cause us to rush into another relationship just so that we're not alone. And we don't want to feel what it felt like to have somebody leave us, or what we feel like when we had to say no to somebody as far as a friendship or a relationship goes. We'll just rush right through it, hang out with somebody new, and bypass the opportunity, not just to deal with the emotions, but to sit in the discomfort of not knowing what's next. Same thing with a job. Now, of course, economically speaking, many people don't have the opportunity to sit in uncertainty. They just have to get another job. And that's just what you have to go do. However, even while you're doing that, and if you have the opportunity to not have to rush into a job, it's a wonderful practice to sit in the discomfort of not knowing what's next, not exactly sure what you're going to do, not exactly sure what the answer is or what decision is best. And so, as you are going through change, as you are experiencing your own metamorphosis, I find nothing helps more than changing the definition of these natural and normal human conditions and experiences that we go through when we're going through change. That's why later on we're going to learn about confusion. We're going to learn about chaos. All of these elements of change have gifts. And when it comes to uncertainty, the gift is pause, slow down, be willing to wait, be willing to put it in park, be willing to not need to know when you don't. It is so important, as I've said in almost every video, to bring compassion to your mind that does need to know. It's like a pacifier. It just freaks out when it can't place its knowing on something or someone. And so when you're going through uncertainty and you're trying this new way, it's very, very important to have compassion. Putting your hand on your heart, saying things to yourself out loud, like I still do every day. Hey, you know what? I know you don't feel comfortable right now, not knowing. I don't feel so comfortable either, but we're going to trust. Maybe you'll say something like, we're learning how to sit in the discomfort of this uncertainty. I got you. It's going to be okay. Whatever you need to say to the one within you that's concerned and freaked out because it believes it needs to know now, and the uncertainty says, not quite yet. It's very, very helpful to have respect for the mind, for its concerns, while also bringing compassion to it, and also practicing the strengthening of this new muscle, which is sitting in the discomfort of not knowing. I'm sitting in the discomfort of uncertainty. I don't know. I don't know what to do about this. I'm not sure what decision to make. I don't know what path or what job is actually going to be the best one for me. I don't know. I'm uncertain. And I don't like how that feels. And I believe that there's a reason for me to be pausing. And I'm going to change my thinking to see myself not sitting in uncertainty as something happening to me or against me, but rather sitting in a field, a big open field that is filled with possibility, filled with potential, filled with clarity, filled with your answers. And sometimes all life asks us to do, and because we're human, it can be the hardest thing, is to just be still, is to just wait, is to use this time. I mean, there's a great line in the Book of Runes. When the fishermen are not at sea, they tend to their nets. That's what uncertainty offers us. This opportunity to tend to our nets, to look around while we're waiting, while we're practicing getting more comfortable in the discomfort of uncertainty, to look around. Why might this be happening? What possible gift might be here for me? Is there something I rushed past when I wasn't willing to slow down that maybe now I can see because I'm willing to sit in the discomfort of uncertainty until I have some additional clarity, until I know for sure? And how do we know for sure in the new design model? How we feel. We put decisions in our bodies. We imagine a scenario and we feel how we feel in that scenario. It is so powerful to include your body and all of your senses in a preview of a decision to see how you feel. So if you're going through uncertainty, and listen, I get it. It can be stressful. It is stressful to not know. But all I'm saying is based on what I've learned and experienced along the way, you can, through mindful practice, by talking to yourself, by bringing compassion to your mind and the thoughts that are so uncomfortable with this uncertainty, by doing these small but very powerful things, even breathing. 60 seconds of mindful, slowed breath is a complete and total game changer for the nervous system and for the brain's fight, freeze, or flight mode. The breath. You're feeling anxious because you don't know. You're getting frustrated and angry because your mind tells you you should know by now and you don't. Take a deep breath. Put your hand on your heart. Yeah, I know. I wish we knew too. I know it's hard for me too to be uncertain. But we're committed to waiting. And in the meantime, we're just going to practice being more comfortable. Because here's what also happens when you do this during times of uncertainty. And this is a major pillar in the new design model and without a doubt, key when you're in the in-between. And that is beginning to develop and ultimately trust your relationship with your invisible source. I always say, something knew the rose, and then it packed it into a bud, and then it packed the bud into a seed, and then gave us the opportunity to pick the seed, prepare the dirt, and plant the seed, so that together, the invisible laws of growth that we can't see, nobody has ever seen what it is, that cracks open the seed in the density of the cold, dark dirt and draws the bloom up out to the surface. We've never seen it. But just because we don't see it, it doesn't stop us from planting every season, because we know that something does indeed work not only on our behalf as our co-creator of the rose, but it also takes care of the way that it becomes the thing it's meant to become, let alone the intelligence that knew the rose in its beauty and bloom and somehow put all of it into a seed so that that seed could be placed in the perfect atmosphere, in the perfect environment for its optimal opportunity to bloom. That's what uncertainty is. It's the field where you are tilling the soil so that the seeds that maybe you can't see that are being planted by a law of growth that you can't see either, but you know something must be working this out. And so you tend to your nets, you till the soil of your mind, you do your forgiveness work, whatever you can do while you're waiting is a really good practice during times of uncertainty. So if you're dealing with uncertainty, it's difficult, it's depressing, it's freaking you out. People have just not left you alone because they have to know, because their knowing that you know makes them comfortable. Whether it's parents or families or a partner or a friend, right? You notice that? People ask not so much because they really want to know what the answer is, but they want to feel comfortable that you know what you're doing. And we feel that pressure. And so we make decisions and we rush through things just to put that pacifier in our mouths, the mind's mouth, and their mouth as well. It doesn't have to be that way. It doesn't have to be that way. You can find my book, The Confusion Experiment, at my website, CamilleConte.com, and perhaps it'll be something you add to your reading list this year. But just know that if you're in uncertainty, you're actually exactly where you need to be. Thanks so much for watching.